Hello, hello, and welcome back to the 12 Days of Holiday Burnout. Today, I bring on another special guest, one of my friends. Her name is Pam Butler. And as you've noticed, everybody has different words for burnout and different ways of dealing with it. So today, we're going to have Pam give us a little tidbit of how she coaches with dealing with burnout and things that we can learn and have a quick win today. But before we get started, I'm going to let Pam introduce herself to you and tell you a little bit about what she does.
Hey, Kathie, thank you. It's so great to be here. And what a lovely invitation, or what an important thing to be talking about. So thank you for leading the call. No burnout aspect. So yeah, I'm Pam Butler. I'm a hypnotherapist, and I'm also a hypnotherapy trainer and an NLP trainer. I spent a long time coaching. I've been coaching for over 25 years using various techniques and methodologies and approaches. And mostly I work with entrepreneurial women who are starting their own businesses or working in their own businesses. Many of them are solopreneurs. But in a past life, I actually worked in corporate and I worked in an agency, but I also worked with corporate, with not for profit organizations in a place in Toronto called the Center for Social Innovation, where there were a lot of not for profit people who were running businesses, but they didn't dream of running businesses. They dreamed of their vision and their vision having the impact. And so their ability to manage and their understanding of what employees needed and how to move it forward and keep their people happy and productive and contributing and all of those pieces was really important. And so I would come in as a communications trainer. I had a variety of processes that I would bring them through. And that's the bulk of my experience with burnout is that kind of an environment, as well as, of course, with solopreneurs and entrepreneurs who are always trying to go to the next thing and often working real hard at it, but it's not always going the direction they wanted. So yeah, so that's a little bit of it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is a great segue. So, as you see, she's got all these different little pieces of expertise in dealing with corporate wellness in general. And all of us in general have to deal with burnout. We call it different things. It can be anxiety, it can be overwhelm, procrastination, things like that. So I'm going to set the stage for Pam to kind of talk about what she calls burnout and then go into simple solutions to help deal with burnout. And again, we'll have her back on the podcast and in the future so we can dig a little bit deeper. But today, I just want to hear a little bit about a quick win we can take home with us today to break through that burnout. I'll give it to you, Pam.
Perfect, Kathy. And burnout is distinctive because it it is burned out. You're not just fatigued. You're not just anxious. You're not just frustrated. There's an element of burnout. Many years ago, just seeing breaking aside, but also going back, I was at an event and I had took melatonin actually, which is a supplement that causes you to relax and causes your body to relax. And I took too much of it. And I went to this event. I took it the night before because I was having sleep, and there was a lot of friction at this event. It was really a toxic environment, and it was a rough day. And by the end of the day, I literally felt like my synapses were burnt. Like I felt burnt out. And so it is a real thing. Like burnout is a real reference. And people, they lose sleep. There's a lot of pieces that, are symptomatic of many things. But distinctive about burnout is a loss of empathy. It's a loss of connection. It's a loss of interest and motivation in people who were not normal to them. And so that's kind of the burnout suite where you know you're not just dealing with stress. You're not just dealing with a rough road. You're not just dealing with some sort of stress is a normal up and down, but you're dealing with something that's even more kind of significant. And in my experience, that always that fatigue, that exhaustion, that lack of connection, that sort of withdraw that is not productive generally comes from a lack of clarity. That's really the source of it for people, that they're not clear about where they want to go. They're not necessarily clear about what they're doing. They're not being clear about what they need. They're not setting their boundaries. So those pieces, those communication pieces, contribute to it, as does just the general perception of self that's easy to lose as you start to sink under that burden or burden out, if you I don't know if that answered your question, but I kind of like the this one for
Absolutely. I love that. And because I really want to hone in on this, it's lack of clarity of our purpose, lack of clarity of why we're doing what we're doing because we're in such a fog. I love how she said her synapses felt burnt. They just felt burnt. And that is a great description of it. And when you feel that, that's what burnout feels like. It's just burnt. Everything, you don't have any clarity on why you're doing what you're doing, and you're just overwhelmed. There's no boundaries. I love how she mentioned boundaries because that's really, really important. I want to touch on one thing, and that is one thing that Pam does is tarot card readings, which helps us identify our clarity. And so this could be really beneficial for somebody inside of burnout, and working with Pam and understanding your tarot card readings. As mystic as that may sound, I really want to touch on this because she said there was no clarity. So let's go back to that and let's talk about how we can find clarity with our tarot card readings. I want to hear about this.
so thank you very much. As you know, I love tarot, and I feel it is I realize it sounds incredibly woo to people, and it is woo. One of the things that tarot really captures well is archetypes. That it's all talking about archetypical um, information, and that it's easy to grasp when you think that there is an archetype of mother, right? There is an archetype of maiden. There is an archetype, and they're not stereotypes, they're archetypes. We all can kind of agree with certain aspects of all. The way that I use the tarot cards is to help people identify most. So I don't predict with tarot. I don't feel like that. I don't think it's karmically a good idea. I don't think it's energetically a good idea. And and it's not how I use them. I use them archetypically to indicate to people what they're working with, sort of perhaps limiting ideas that they have about what they're working with, and then personal strengths that they can bring to bear on the circumstance that will bring them through to a successful completion or will improve the results that they're getting or direct them in how to move forward with what it is that they would like to accomplish. And it's really important for burnout because it's easy to lose track of your strength. And especially in the workplace, especially in the corporate, and especially now. I mean, when you think about it, I was thinking about AI the other day and how businesses and employees it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So not only are there fewer people for you to actually be involving yourself, fewer conversations to be had, fewer, uh, inspiration of ideas from people other than yourself. That pool is getting smaller. But also, there's the pressure of doing actually more work and doing work that other people used to do. So that's a real issue, I think, in corporate now with burnout. And so when people don't understand their own strength and work to their strength and over focus on their weaknesses, which is easy to happen, it kind of feel like you're losing ground, or you feel like you're not being enough, or you're not doing enough, or it's not working out, or all of those, ruminatory conversations that can really run us off the rails. When you fall into that, it's hard to keep track of your strength. And for many managers, even, they don't necessarily have tools where they can evaluate people's and play to people's strengths so that they know what they are, they can assign them accordingly, or partner people who have complementary strengths so that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So, so that and clarity about that is actually sort of prescription that I would to really bring their attention to what they do well. Everybody's done probably personal development exercises where it says, what are your strengths? What do you do well? What are you unique about? What are your gifts? That's really true and informed. That in combination with knowing where you want to go and not just where you don't want to go, because that's not a productive way to move forward. Your brain is it's like saying, don't think of a pink elephant. Well, good luck. Now that I've said that, you must think of a pink elephant, even in order not to think of it. Be- So it's important to know where you don't want to go because that gives you the control. You must identify where you do want to go. And if you do that and you identify the strengths that you can rely on, take you there, that can lead you there, not just your strength, but also things that you like to do, then it really slows the way for an easier process.
Yes, 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 yes. Here is the one thing I really want to hone in on. I want to focus in on. What she said is we focus when we're in burnout, when we're under stress, we focus on our weaknesses. And it's hard to not think of that pink elephant weakness that we've got going on because that's the way our brains are wired. So we want to focus on our strengths. And that's where the card reading can come in and you can see, oh, I forgot I had that strength. Another thing that she said that's really helpful when it comes to burnout is we want to find what we like to do, what we enjoy to do. Hobbies are a great way to counterbalance your burnout. And when you find out what you like, what your strengths are, and you work on those, it kind of puts that pink elephant in way, way far away in the zoo where it belongs.
That
Wait a second. In the circus where it
the
belongs.
circus where it belongs. That's even better and even truer, actually. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. This was really, really great, really helpful. I hope you got a quick win today. Before we end, I always say this, I include a blog post that includes all of the links and actually bonus resources in this blog post. So you'll be able to find Pam and find bonus resources. Maybe you want to work with her. She does these lunch and learns that are tarot card readings that help you identify your strengths inside your program, inside your business. What phenomenal way to really build on this and help prevent that burnout. So, Pam, tell us where we can find you and we'll close out.
Perfect. Thanks so much for the chance. I'm at PamButlerHypnotherapy.com. PamButlerHypnotherapy.com. You'll find all of my offerings on there. You do hypnotherapy. I'm a hypno coach. I do tarot reading. I do something called a quick clear mind thought reset that is very quick if you just have a singular problem that you want to deal with. So it's like they always say, the best defense is a good offense. And so prevention is a great way to intervene, keep things moving in the right direction. I do clarity kickstarts with people and I do programming evaluations so that people can understand. This is what I did with the not-for-profit, is showing behaviors along an entire spectrum, not that either end is good or bad, but it just creates so much more understanding all the way around, like so much more. We can find all of that kind of information on Pam Butler. Yeah.
Okay, great. I hope you got a quick win today. I know I sure did. That clarity is king when it comes to dealing with burnout and finding your strengths, your purpose, your reasons why you're doing things, and also to balance life out. All right. So that's today's episode in the 12 days of burnout breakthrough. And I will see you on the next episode. I trust that you found it helpful. Again, the links to all of this, including bonus and other episodes as well, will be in the show notes and description below. And until next time, I will see you next time. Peace out and namaste.